Today in this video, I'm going to show you what I believe is the best home studio budget monitor control. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm Cole Caparoon. Thank you for stopping by for another video. Now, on my last video going over the Grace M908, the comments were full of people who were like, this is unobtainium for us. Like this, I can't possibly afford this. This isn't even an option for me. And I understand that. I do believe the 908 is one of, if not the best monitor controllers money can buy. And I do believe the Grace M905 is one of, if not the best stereo traditional monitor controllers money can buy. But they are not inexpensive and incredibly hard to justify for some people in home studios, hobbyists, up-and-comers. Like, I totally get that and I totally sympathize with that. And so today I dug out my old monitor controller out of storage to show you what I spent my money on back in the day when I was just coming up. But before I show this to you and discuss its features and why I like it, there's a thing that I want to make sure that I get across to you. Monitor controllers all have a sound to them, but what you want is a monitor controller that has the most transparent sound possible. This is the singular most important thing about a monitor controller, is that it is ultra transparent. Because whatever character, whatever sound the monitor controller has, you are making mix decisions through the lens of what the monitor controller is making it sound like. So there are some monitor controllers out there that are kind of dull sounding, kind of muddy sounding, and guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna mix brighter. You're gonna make sure the high end is more enhanced in your mix elements. And then when you go listen in the car, when you go listen on a PA system, whatever, your mix is not going to sound that great because you are making mix decisions based on what the monitor controller was showing you inaccurate information. There was a whole bunch of comments on my last video being like, well, why monitor controllers don't have a sound? No, they absolutely have a sound. All of them have a sound. Every single piece of gear that you could possibly imagine has a sound. And so the goal is to have as transparent of a monitor controller as humanly possible. Now, with that principle in mind, that is what led me to the Drawmer MC2.1. I bought this 12 years ago, probably. Long before I had a YouTube channel, long before I was involved with Sweetwater, I bought this from Sweetwater. And I did so because in my research, especially at the time, this was the most transparent kind of budget monitor controller that existed. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is not the cheapest monitor controller that money can buy, because I don't discuss those things on this channel. I'm never interested in what the cheapest option of something is. I'm interested in what the most affordable option that can give you great results is. And I believe that this is one of the best options still available on the market today. I can't remember the exact price. I'll put a link down below, so go check out the price. It has went up since I bought it a little bit, but I think it's in like the $800 ballpark. Not ultra budget, not the cheapest thing out there, but the cheapest thing I feel comfortable recommending for incredible results. I mean, I charted top 40 on Billboard with this monitor controller. So this was one of the most transparent options available back then. I'm sure it still is today, even though there's been a handful more come out, but this is the one that I used for years, so I feel very comfortable recommending it. And again, recommending it if you can't afford a Grace M905 or a Grace M908. If you can stretch for a 905, boy, is it just the best stereo monitor controller out there, but I totally get that that's not for everybody. So let's take a look at this and let me explain to you its features and what all it does. Okay, now I've got this in the rack mount kit here. This took a while to get. It was on back order for a long time. When you buy this, it is not rack mounted. It is just this section right here, and it sits on your desktop, but there is a rack mount kit available for it. Now, first up, you have two headphone outputs, each with their independent own headphone volume, which is wonderful for you and for a client that you're tracking. Next up, you can control 3 different speakers from this, A, B, and C. And if you want to turn the speakers off to run just headphones when you're tracking, you just push the button and then all the speakers are turned off, which is awesome. To me, this is one of the key features of why I bought this, because I used to always run 3 sets of monitors. I think any monitor controller that runs less than 3 sets, even when I moved to 2 sets, this is how I did screen capture tutorials, where speaker output C ran to my hard disk recorder. So that way I would just record the output of my monitor path, and that's how I've made those videos for a long time. Next up, you have 3 inputs here. So you can select between any 3 of the inputs, and you can have multiples going simultaneously, which is very cool. One of the inputs being an aux input, so that way you can run TRS straight into this, or literally whatever you want to do. Next up, you've got your cuts. You can mute your left or your right or both at the same time. And then you've got your output here. So you can flip the phase, the polarity on the whole thing, and you can run mono right here. But then when you hit mono and flip the phase, you go to listening to just the sides, which is very cool. You have got a dim switch right here, talk back, and a talk back level right here, and a big old wonderful feeling knob for your actual volume control. It feels very smooth. It feels very premium. Now flipping over to the back side here, you have got your power switch. You've got a talk back output, so you can run this to a whole different room. You have got your mono output, so you can run a subwoofer right from here. And then you've got your speaker outputs, output A, output B, output C. Then you get over here to the inputs. You've got input 1 as XLR, input 2 as a combo jack, so you can run TRS or XLR. And then input 3 is either this stereo 1/8" jack, that when you buy the rack kit, it comes with this adapter, so that way it moves that to the front, or your RCA jacks here. So that's input 1, input 2, input 3. Again, I'll put links to this in the description down below. Of course, those links go to Sweetwater. I actually bought this from Sweetwater many, many years ago, but Sweetwater is sponsoring this video. No, they did not send this to me because, like I've already said 5 times, I bought this years and years ago. However, I want to give a huge shout out to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. Anytime you guys need any piece of gear whatsoever, you can jump on any one of my videos, click on any link in the description of any video. Once you're on the site, you can purchase anything you need, costs you nothing extra. But every time you do that, it goes a long ways to help me keep making videos just like this. So huge thanks to you guys for using those links anytime you need to purchase absolutely anything, and a huge thank you to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. That is the Drawmer MC2.1. I cannot recommend it enough. I mixed with it I probably used it for 10 years, even though I've had it for 12. And it's a piece of gear that I still have. It's been in storage because if I ever need a monitor controller for a small room, I don't want to have to reacquire one. This is the one that I want. So that should speak volumes to how much I actually do recommend this. Again, links in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped you get another option for a monitor controller for those of you that are up and comers, hobbyists, home studio owners, etc. I'm not blind to the fact that most of my audience is that demographic. And so while this channel is about documenting my journey and showing off what gear I'm using, when I can show something off that fits that demographic that I truly believe in enough to have bought it and still stand by the purchase, then I want to do that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this helped you. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.